good squad? It's the big homie SB23 back at you with some more words of wisdom. Today's conversation is going to be let people think what they want. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. SB23 on YouTube, Chosen123 on YouTube. Those are both my channels. You'll get these gems on both channels. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming by, hanging out with me, soaking up the knowledge, spreading it to whoever might need it. I'm hoping you're having a good day, and I'm sending love out your way. So, let people think what they want. When you're dealing with people in these different circumstances in life, different relationships, friendships, parental figures, work relationships, loving spouse, romantic relationships, people are gonna come up with their own thoughts about you from the way that they perceive who you are, from the lens that they view you from. And you got to be willing to accept that for what it is. We get caught in our own way of seeing ourselves, and we try to get somebody to view us in the same light that we view ourselves. And that's how you can, in a lot of those situations, you're fighting a losing battle, because oftentimes people can't see what it is that you're trying to get them to see. They can only see whatever they see from their perspective, because everybody's perspective is different. You know what I'm saying? So when you're trying to make a case for yourself to be different than what somebody's perceiving you to be, you're only hurting yourself, because within that scenario, you're taking your energy and you're trying to prove yourself to these people instead of just letting them think whatever they want to think and not caring. You know, I just made a video about the power of not caring. And when I say not caring, it doesn't mean that you don't care about people or you don't care about how they feel. It's just that you're not putting so much of your own energy and thoughts about how they view you and the way that they have you made up within their mind, that it's affecting the way that you operate within your life. Because you can start to move in different ways to try to appease them in order to get them to see you in a different light, instead of just being your authentic self and doing whatever it is that you feel is right to do for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you gotta let people think what they want. You know, they're gonna come up with their own ways of thinking about you or how they feel, and you got to be okay with that. Because at the end of the day, if you are solid with who you are on the inside, then it shouldn't matter how anybody else feels or what they think of you, because you know who you are truly at your core. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what they may perceive you as to be, or what they may try to make you out to be, or paint your character to be to themselves or to somebody else, or people around you or them. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, their viewpoint and their opinion doesn't really hold any weight. You know, the only person who has any real weight over you is you. You know what I'm saying? It's only when you allow other people to hold weight over you that you can mess up your own energetic field. You can mess up the way that you want to be and should be for yourself, because you're trying to convince somebody else of a way that you are, because they might be painting you in some sort of light that you don't like. You know what I'm saying? That's mostly when it happens that way. It's like when somebody's painting you in some sort of picture or a way that you know that you're not that, you can get into this thing of trying to prove them wrong. But instead of proving them wrong, just accept that that's the way that they feel, and just keep doing you. You know what I'm saying? So, and eventually they're either going to see that their way of thinking of you was flawed by your actions, or they'll see it within at some point later down the road. It might not be right then and there within the moment when you're trying to show them and prove to them that you are different than what they're trying to make you out to be. It's hard to see a different way of something when you already have something set in your mind. But through life experience and different interactions of dealing with you, and maybe even being separated away from you, that's when it all starts to click, and then they do start to see you in the light that you are truly held within, you know what I'm saying? But when you try to prove to them and do things to prove to them that you are a certain way, it almost backfires on you, excuse me, because it's the same thing as if you were trying to attract somebody, but you're pushing the issue is actually going to repel them instead of attracting them, to where if you just back off, that's when you actually get them to come towards you. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. It's like when you're trying to prove yourself to somebody, that's almost 9 times out of 10 repellent, instead of actually getting you the result that you want. To where if you would just say, okay, I don't even care how you view me however you want to view me, I'm just going to keep being me, that's when they start to actually see you as you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not acting in a certain way to appease them. You're just continuing to be who you are at your core. And that's when they start to see you in the light that they need to see you in. You know what I'm saying? But it might take a situation, or again, some absence, or whatever the case may be, in order for that to transpire. But that is just that simple. Don't worry about how people view you. Worry about how you view yourself. And if you don't feel or see yourself in a certain light that you want to be, then dig deep within yourself and figure out what it is that you need to do in order to get yourself feeling the way that you want to feel. And then naturally, when you raise your energy to where you want it to be, then the other people who are around you will naturally see that within you. Then they will see it because you've worked on it on the inside, and then it reflects on the outside. So don't worry about what people, let them think whatever they're gonna think. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they have the right to think whatever they want to think, but that doesn't mean that they're right. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that what they say about you or how they feel about you or whatever the case may be, that doesn't mean that they're right. That's just what they feel and think. You know what I'm saying? So just let them think whatever and then go on about your business. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You know what I'm saying? We're all humans, and we all are gonna have our own feelings and thoughts. And when you just allow somebody to live within however they feel and think, instead of trying to prove to them something about you, that's when naturally things will happen, and they'll be shown everything that you've been saying. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to force it. You just need to let it go and let them figure it out on their own, and they will at some point. If they're meant to. If the universe wants them to see that about you, then they will. But if they're supposed to be clouded and within their own judgment on you, then that's where they'll stay stuck at. But if they're supposed to be like in your life and surrounded within your energy, then the truth will be brought to the light, and they will see what they need to see in order to right the wrong thoughts and feelings that they may have had about you. You know what I'm saying? Or the things that they may have been saying about you. That's just some words of wisdom from the big homie. I'ma holla.